Hello there, this is Marcio, and this is yet another episode of Coding with Agents or Culture Coding with Agents. And most of these sessions, throughout these sessions, I try to capture reflections about management and communication, right? Mostly from the new situation of working with agents, coding with agents, building with agents, all right? So what you see on usually my canvas is something that I'm working on, right? So this is a text editor, and this is part of supporting a startup, and they're basically the idea of agents and assistants there, right? And here is very interesting, something interesting, right? Because when we try to develop, I guess it could be the theme for this session, right? When we try to develop things, we, like the goal is to have the assistant, right? The AI, chatbot, whatever it is. And usually we want to focus on there, right? But in the end of the day, that's not where the problem is, right? That's a little bit about, the idea of a chatbot and conversational agents or assistants is what we want. It's about the user experience. That's very important. But that doesn't give you anything about all the things that need to be in place in order to develop that, right? So then we have this screen in front of me, because ideally from the product manager perspective, from the founder, product founder, I do want a chatbot, right? A conversational assistant to create articles. And there is a story there. There are some interesting ideas there in terms of how to do that in a chatbot, right? It's quite complicated maybe. But then if you look at structures of articles and how articles are organized, in this case, how articles relate to the seasons or the categories which they're part of, right? Say, for example, if you have a book, right, you have the articles and they're part, maybe articles, each article is a chapter, but nevertheless, the chapter is part, a section of the book, right? So you can, this section is a category. So in this case, we call seasons, right? You see on the right hand side, I have the import navigator there, right? With different colors. So here, okay, you see the different colors, and then I can see the articles that I have there under a category, okay? You see like this green category. So you see the problem, okay? You may try to go straight to the user experience that you really want to deploy, but that's not where the problem exists, right? Because you need to map the whole thing in the middle. And then throughout these days, through the agentic days, I keep seeing a kind of development that it's new, right? It's about the emergence of visual interfaces that gives you a window about something in the middle. Okay. And here's the thing, practitioners, they're not wrong, okay, at all. You have seen probably articles where practitioner in the field of management and product development probably wrote about, with AI now, you can be, it's almost like having the Jenny with you, and then you ask for something, and right after realize you asked it for trouble. right? It develops something for you too fast, and then there are charts, right, of wasted development cycles there. I mean, AI didn't invent that, and I don't think AI is accelerating that at all. It might, and I agree, those articles are really nice to read actually because it's a reminder for us about something we knew, right? When you have uh, resources available, like infinite resources, are the idea, right? That you have lots of resources, like investment from your investor. And then, yes, it's the same, right? You're gonna hire 10 people to do things, then realize eight of them did something that you didn't want. So it's even worse, right? Now your investor won't ever invest with you again. So that's one thing for us to pay attention. So this is management, back to the management, nothing changed. But yes, it's a good reminder. All those articles, they're great, and I love them because of that. It's a reminder for us that uh, we're being as managers or creators or builders, we're being called. It's a calling, right? To be conscious, right? With great powers, you have great responsibilities. That idea wasn't invented as well these days, right? Now, okay. So now, why I'm bringing that up? I'm bringing that up because if you look at this screen, this is what I call the screen that you see right there. It's under the what I call prohibited work. Okay, and I'm going to close this video now very soon because this is the case of the prohibited work, right? So there are situations where when you try to capture the gold, right, at the end of the rainbow, you're wasting resources. And there are also situations where you go straight to the prohibited thing. You actually get closer, right? You pull the gap, the objective, right? So there are certain key activities, and as I move towards closing this video, I'm going straight to the topic of OKR. And by the way, OKR slash Andy Grove's view, right? There are activities that you do that you get closer. So as I try moving forward to create this conversational assistant in, and I am here in front of this editor UI. What is this? What is this UI right here, right? You see, I have the categories of my articles on the right hand side. You can navigate them, written with agents, right? What else I have here? I have widgets there. What are these widgets, right? See, let's do a zoom there. Widgets, something for reordering the article sections, and that category navigator again, and the new article panel in there, and the article view panel in there, and all those sections about the articles. These things. What you see here, and this is the final thought, which connects with OKR, and an opportunity to say thanks to Andy Grove from Intel is what you see here is an intermediary interface that it's a window into the problem. It's just giving me an opportunity to see inside the black box, right? Because everybody wants outcomes as soon as possible, right? And usually the key results, they're all wrong because in some cases you don't know the key results. You can only evaluate them, and that's why you gotta see through. This UI that you see right here, written with agents, is something that helps me to see through, right? This is the same with code, with writing, with everything in life, right? When you're designing things, you're not 100% sure where you're going. You need to recognize that. You have outcomes, yes. Everybody can you can throw an outcome in there, but the last thing you want in terms of a manager is to aim for a ridiculous key activity that doesn't give you a view about the problem. That's how I close this video. Thank you so much for being joining these sessions. Have a good day.